Hey, you tuned into the Daily, and my next guest is easily one of my top three favorite human beings of all time. And I'm not just saying that because he's joining me on Zoom and I'm looking at his beautiful bearded face, but we are so excited to welcome back to the Daily our artist of the week from We Are Messengers, Darren Mulligan. Mate, it's been too long. It's so good to see you, brother.
Well, I've got older. I'm not getting any prettier, but I'm certainly a lot more joyful than last time you saw me.
Oh, it's good, mate. It has been. Now, let's just jump straight into this because you guys made an announcement on social media. It seems like weeks ago that you were coming to New Zealand to play at Festival One across the ditch. And alongside that post, there was Australia, keep your eyes out for news. This news is what we want to talk about today. Can we just get straight into this and just lead off the bat, mate?
Yeah, fire away with it. Yeah.
All right. What is the news that We Are Messengers have jumped on the daily today to join us and to talk through?
Well, we got some exclusive news. We are finally coming back to Australia um, for our second national Australian tour. And so
Yeah, boy.
we're gonna hit New Zealand, then we're gonna, as you say, cross the ditch, and we're gonna do, I think we're doing Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, and Sydney. And
Mm.
we have planned so long for this. It is not easy to do. But last time we were down under, we absolutely fell in love with the Aussies. With I don't know, you made us feel like it was a home away from home, and we couldn't wait to come back. So we're doing it. And when I say we couldn't wait to come back, I actually mean that. Going to Australia is not a profitable venture for any band,
Yeah.
um, but it's a way to go and sing about good news, about a good God, and have a real good time doing it. So anywhere that's happening, we are messengers are in on it. So we're coming in the end of January. I can't wait.
I I can't believe it's already been 2 years since you were last here. I mean, it just seems like the other day that we were finally seeing you in Australia for the very first time. I mean, so glad, firstly, that you loved that experience so much that you wanted to come back. But
Yeah,
it was so we are so happy to welcome you back because a lot has changed in the last couple of years. You got a new album, you got stuff that's
yeah,
still to come in 2026 as well. I mean, you got a lot to bring that hasn't been seen yet.
yeah. Do you know what's really cool? Actually, the timing of this. So just today, I got off stage. I was on tour at the moment with Skillet and Jeremy Camp, and but I was in LA for the last 3 days shooting video and finishing our album. So the very first people in all of the world to hear brand new We Are Messengers music from our fifth studio album, which drops next September 2026, will be you guys. We're going to
Mm.
play three or four songs that we've never played before, that no one has ever heard before, and we're actually going to debut them in New Zealand and Australia, and so that's really cool. Fresh music, fresh vision, new excitement, new energy, same wonderful Jesus.
Mm.
And I'm certain that it's going to be a good time, and I'm certain that I'm going to leave better than how I arrived because that's the way it happened last time, and I expect more this time again.
The last time that you were here, and I can remember being in the audience, a part of the show, which was a really special moment. I mean, you guys facilitate the love of Jesus in a live environment so, so well. Yes, it's a show and you want to perform well for people and have a great time singing these songs, but the hope that's being communicated was undeniable, and your passion and your heart, the reason that that's why you do what you do was so evident.
Here, honestly, the greatest privilege I have in my life is keeping one area of my life really holy and really clean and full of purpose. I've messed up most of the areas in my life many times, but when Jesus rescued me and he gave me this passion for music and stories and sharing the good news, I, I told him I'd keep this area right. And so when we're on stage, we don't need anything from the audience. Like we applause is kind and it's nice and all of that, but we're there to partner with the audience, trying to know a little bit more about the goodness of God. We're there to comfort, we're there to mourn with you, to laugh with you, to sing with you, to pray with you. And that's not just happening on stage time, that'll be happening in the airport, that'll be happening on the buses, that'll be happening with the security guards and catering staff. Uh, we are not coming to Australia to take anything from anyone. We're
Mm.
coming to pour out the good things that Jesus has done in our life. It makes it easy to love people when you realize you're the messiest man in the room, when you're the most sinful man in the room and you need the most mercy. you never look down on the audience. You actually look to them to carry you through all of that. So yeah, I'm never going to shy away from being with people on the stage or off it.
How challenging has it been, as you said earlier, to be able to keep this area of your life right? You know, by your own admission, you speak about
Yeah,
this openly on stage, on social media, that, you know, you're a sinful, you're a broken
yeah,
man, as am I, as are we all. We
yeah,
carry these human failings with us through our lives, and it's only because of the grace of God and the love of Jesus that we can do what we do effectively. But how
yeah.
hard has it been to be able to keep this side of what you do on the straight and narrow?
Oh, it's been brutally hard. Yeah, like there is no harder place to follow Jesus than being a somewhat successful international touring artist. Every pitfall you can imagine is constantly arriving at my doorstep, and sometimes I've fallen for it. Um, but I guess as I get older and more in love with Jesus and I walk closer with him, it's become a lot easier. I have found that it's easier to fixate on the goodness and mercy of God than to fixate on not sinning. Like when I try and white knuckle it and try not to fall for my desires and my sinful nature, I usually end up there. But when I focus on the kindness of God and the mercy of God and the faithfulness of God, sin never really rears its head. Um, so yeah, my advice to other artists coming up is fixate on Jesus, fixate on the good things, the holy things, the righteous things, fixate on thankfulness, forgiveness, repentance, and that'll all take care of the unhealthy things in your life that sometimes take hold.
Now, what I love, apart from the fact that you guys are coming back in 2026, if you're just tuning in, our guest is lead singer of We Are Messengers, Darren Mulligan. An Australian tour is on January 2026. The last time that you guys were here, you brought Nathan Tasker along for the ride, and you're bringing him back to come along this time too.
You know, Tasker has become my best friend in the world. I know he's an incredible songwriter and artist, but just as a man, like he has walked with me through some rough times, and me with him, and his deep, deep love for people and for God. If you're going to buy tickets for any other reason, buy tickets because there'll be men on stage who actually love Jesus off stage. That's worth the admission price because it's a much more rare thing than you'd imagine, Cam.
Mm.
Um, Tasker's amazing. He's actually got new songs coming out too. Um, so yeah, he he's one of the reasons I fell in love with Australia because I realized that Australian people were very like Irish people.
Mm.
They didn't want the fluff. They wanted to talk about real things. They wanted to have a laugh, bit of crack, bit of messing. But at the core of it, they realized that life is way too hard to be on our own doing this thing. So Nate
Mm.
travels with me a lot, and dude, coming down to his home with him is it's a real honor. Yeah, class.
Yeah. I'll never forget the last time, and this was just a moment before you guys were just about to walk on stage, and I've never regretted taking a photo of a moment more. But the three of us were just hanging out backstage. There was you, there was me, there was Tasker, and we were just having that laugh. And it was just a couple of minutes that the three fellas there were just enjoying each other's company, knowing what we were about to do, but still, you know, keeping it real. And it was one moment. So this time, can we please get that photo of the three of us?
Yeah, we can absolutely get the photo. I think that just goes to what we're talking about. We have to be the same men off stage as we are on stage. The last thing people need is another band up there, uh, desperately needing applause or their ego stroked. So you can have all the photos you want, Cam, and anyone else that happens to be loitering around me, no problem at all.
Exactly. Hey, let's just quickly get a little preview of what's to come in 2026. You've said the new album's dropping September.
Yeah,
You've already, and you said you will be performing some of these new songs live. I mean, so far this year, you've already put out a couple of, I suppose, passion project songs. I guess
yeah,
that's the right way to describe it, like Losing You and Summer in Her Dreams. And
yeah,
so, what else can you tell us? Because we know that album five has been in the works.
yeah, mate. This album is it's really, really like I literally just got the masters through today. For the very first time I heard the masters of the new record. I have crafted this and honed it and cried over it. Instead of writing it in America, we've been writing it in Sweden and in Scotland and in England and Ireland, all over the world, because I wanted something that felt new, that is new, because God is doing a new thing.
Mm.
Uh, I'll give you an exclusive. I'll give you one exclusive, right, that I shouldn't, but I'm going to give it anyway.
Talk to
Um,
me.
the album, no one knows this. Absolutely nobody knows this. But the album is going to be called Halfway Home, right?
Nice.
And it is the journey of a man who has walked with Jesus for 20 years, who thought he'd be a better man. And it's me looking back at the past, trying to reckon with that, trying to make peace with it, trying to enjoy the present and looking forward to Jesus. Um, and it's heavy. Mate, we go back, we got some turnstile-esque rock and roll numbers in there. We we got some love songs, we got some heartbreak, we got some joy, but it's the real deal, mate. And I'm desperately trying to get a song to you guys before we release them in America. So be praying for that because the very first single is going to be called Faith, Hope, Love. And I'm really trying to get it out to Australia next month. But I'm facing a wee bit of technicalities on this side of the pond. So yeah, be praying because I would love the Aussies to hear it first. Every time we put a song out, you guys have taken it to your hearts, and it's a banger. Mate, I've written some bangers for this. This
I
this
can't
concert
wait.
is going to be bonkers. There's going to be more energy than you've ever seen at the Wham show.
Yeah.
More heart, more singing, more laughing, more dancing, more freedom, no pretending. And it's the kind of concert you can absolutely bring people who are wrestling with doubt
Mm.
and who maybe don't think Jesus is as good as we think he is. It's a great place to come because we're not preaching at you. We're in it with you and chasing after Jesus together.
There is a little snippet of a song called Heaven and Earth. You guys have just started performing it on this tour, which is up on your socials. And so,
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's only a minute or so, but if that kind of that's just an appetite whetting, just 60 seconds of, oh, this is what the next season for We Are Messengers is looking like.
that is absolutely what the next season is looking like. Like the start of this song, if I can describe it to your listeners. And by the way, thanks for listening to me, everybody. But the start of this song was written on a riverboat in London. And that morning I had been praying. I was in a little Greek Orthodox church and I heard this chant, this Gregorian chant. And so I went back to the studio, and we cut this Gregorian chant, and then it goes into the most just savage beat and talks about the tension of living between heaven and earth.
Oof.
And that's what we want to dig into, this tension, and find the beauty in the middle of all of that. So the record sounds like that and better. Uh, dude, this is my fifth studio album, and
Mm,
it's probably the first album I've ever done where I am content. I'm like, this couldn't have been better than what it is. This is exactly what it was supposed to be.
yeah.
And I've never been more excited. Honestly, Cam, I'm not even saying this. I've never been more excited to sing songs, to be with an audience.
Mm.
I'm clean. I'm sober. I, dude, I found great joy, but I still think about life, death, and the in between every day. And these songs are just that story.
Yeah. What kind of difference do you reckon it's made to you as a man, you as a husband, as a father? And I mean, we kind of touched on these ideas through Losing You, through Somewhere in Her Dreams, these other songs that you put out this year, but you've spent a
Yeah,
lot of this year at home in Ireland. And so to be
yeah,
able to call home your home base rather than a temporary kind of home in the US, what kind of a
yeah.
difference has that made?
It's changed everything, Cam. Dude, over the years, I've maybe struggled with a bit of a temper or a bit of maybe a morose sadness at times. Um, Dude, the Lord has given me such a steadiness, and a large part of that is just being around the people that I love the most. And we live up in the hills in County Monaghan in Ireland, and we live off grid. And dude, every day I get out and I walk the dog, and me and my wife, we have our breakfast, drop the kids to school, we go for a walk up in the hills. We serve our local church, on every third Saturday we go out onto the street and tell people about the good news of Jesus.
Come on.
I mean, it's been extraordinary. We have so much peace and joy, and I love America, but it wasn't home. Ireland's
Mm.
home for me, and there's nowhere better to be.
Yeah, brilliant. So, We Are Messengers have announced, if you're just catching up, an Australian tour for January of 2026. There are shows in Brisbane, Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth. Is that right? No, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, Perth. Brisbane,
Yeah,
Sydney,
Brisbane,
Melbourne.
something like that, in one of those orders. But it's Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, and Perth. Yes, that's what we're doing.
Beautiful. So, just in closing, we have kind of touched on this just a little bit, but to summarize, what can Australian audiences expect from version 2 of We Are Messengers coming down under?
More fun, more laughing, more rock and roll, more love songs, more Jesus, um, more ordinary. I think that's what our superpower is, Cam. Now we have realized that it is absolutely okay to be us. It's okay to be messy. It's okay to be ordinary because God uses that in extraordinary ways.
Mm,
So you're going to get an ordinary Irish American rock and roll band singing about an extraordinary Jesus and hoping that other messy, broken sinners and saints can get us a bit closer to God because God knows we need it.
absolutely. Darren, mate, you're one of my favorite people. I know I say that to you every single time, but so excited to give you a big bromance man hug when you're back down under in January of 2026. Thanks for joining us on the daily. You're a good man.
I love you, Cam. You're a good man. Cheers.